So Huffington Post shows that more than 98% of college-age students use social media, and DePaul University provides the statistics that today's college students use over 7 hours of social media per week. That includes things like social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And my name is Kate Shepard, and my proposition for tonight is that social media is detrimental to the health of today's youth. In order to prove this, I'll be making 3 claims. Firstly, that social media has contributed to anxiety among young people. Secondly, that social media has contributed to depression among young people. And lastly, that social media has contributed to body negativity among young people. So starting off with my first point, that social media has contributed to anxiety among young people. At first glance, the social networking sites seem to be a fantastic tool to help us connect with others. However, this connectedness comes with consequences. Social media literally allows us to quantify the amount of relationships and friendships that we have. With this, social media has contributed to loneliness and the fear of social exclusion. Researchers featured in the scholarly journal Computers and Human Behavior completed an experiment which showed the thoughts of losing social networking sites intensified distress caused by social exclusion, suggesting that the loss of social networking sites appears to signify the loss of potential source of social recognition. And I think it's really important to note that this was obviously more intense on heavy users than light users of social media. Another study was completed by researchers of the same academic journal, Computers and Human Behavior, and it found that real-life social interaction was negatively associated with excessive use of Twitter, and this relationship was mediated by loneliness. Social media has also contributed to social anxiety. The National Center for Biotechnology Information featured a study which results showed that both social anxiety and need for social assurance had a significant positive association with problematic use of Facebook. The data demonstrated that the need for social assurance served as a significant moderator for the relationship between social anxiety and the problematic use of Facebook. Moving on to my second point, social media has contributed to depression among young people. The official journal of the ADAA conducted a study which concluded that compared to those in the lowest quartile of time spent per day, as well as the total visits per week spent on social media, participants in the highest quartile had significantly increased odds of depression. This issue stems from the stigma of perfection that is created online, as well as the dissatisfaction that others begin to feel towards their lives. On social media, we usually see people putting their best foot forward, specifically showcasing the good things in their lives rather than the bad and making their lives seem perfect. Social media has managed to create the stigma of perfection that some individuals feel like they have to live up to. In 2016, Emily Hellman from DePaul University put out research that showed the effects of social media encouraged perfectionism. It stated that subjects develop depressive reactions whenever they perceive their performance as being less than perfect. This caused them to experience increasing inactivity and begin to withdraw from normal activities. Social media has also been detrimental in how satisfied individuals are with their lives. PLOS 1 published a study about how people feel moment to moment and how satisfied they are with their lives. Results indicate that Facebook use predicts negative shifts on both sides of these variables over time. So the more people use Facebook, the worse they felt. And the more that they use Facebook over 2 weeks, the more their life satisfaction also declined over that time. My third and final point is that social media has contributed to body negativity among young people. Throughout history, the ideal of beauty has been difficult to achieve and has been shaped by society at that time. This ever-changing perception of how a person should look in order to be valued has become even more unrealistic and shaped in today's world. Photoshopping and editing softwares create unrealistic expectations, but the most problematic part of this editing is that it's fostered all over social media, and that's set as the standard. So many people fail to see that these images aren't actually how people look, and they cast these standards on themselves, even though they're completely fabricated. So stemming from these issues, social media has contributed to body-related dissatisfaction. The International Journal of Eating Disorders found that body image was significantly more negative after viewing thin media images than after viewing images of average-size models, plus-size models, or inanimate objects. This effect was stronger for participants under the age of 19, for participants who were also more vulnerable to activation of the thinness schema. Social media has also contributed to causing eating disorders. Jennifer L. Duran of academic psychiatry discusses a study comparing the rates of eating disorders before and after the arrival of mass media in Fiji. So ethnic Fijians have traditionally encouraged healthy appetites, and they prefer a more filled out body type. There was originally only one case of anorexia nervosa reported on the island prior to mass media's introduction. However, after it was introduced, rates of dieting skyrocketed from 0% to 69%, and young people routinely cited the appearance of attractive actors as inspiration for this weight loss. Inhabitants of the island for the first time began to exhibit disordered eating, and as highlighted in a recent Newsweek article, classic eating disorders such as anorexia and bulimia are being diagnosed at younger ages, some as young as 8 or 9, and they also are being done with higher frequency. With this, I have explained that social media is detrimental to the health of today's youth by making 3 claims. Firstly, that social media has contributed to anxiety in young people. Secondly, that social media has contributed to depression in young people. And lastly, that social media has contributed to body negativity among young people. On the surface, social networking provides an invaluable resource for fulfilling the basic human need for social connection. However, rather than enhancing well-being, these findings suggest that social media may actually undermine it. Thank you.
Okay, Kate, everything is well organized. You've got a clear statement of the proposition. I like that you had a couple of statistics at the beginning as an attention device to set up the issue. You label what the proposition is. There's a clear preview, and it also makes sense that the secondary points all have a kind of a parallel development in the way they are stated, so that makes it easy to see how they are connected to the main proposition. So all of that's clear. You cite it clearly when you get to the body of the speech. Also, there's a numerical signpost as you get to the first point. I think maybe you could have a little bit smoother transition between the points, but it was very clear when you got to each of the second and the third points. There's a lot of evidence that's being utilized in the presentation. You're very consistent about citing information. You have a variety of sources that you've presented. There are academic sources. You've got some statistical information here and there. There are a couple places where some of the information sounds like it might be applying to more generic media rather than the social media that you're talking about, especially like on that third point. But I suspect that social media can probably be tied into that pretty easily, and that may be a press that comes from the respondent. I don't know. We'll hear what they have to say when they get to it. The main hesitation I have is that there's a lot of reading, and you have a tendency to rush because you've got a lot of information in the presentation, but because you're rushing and because there's a lot of reading, I don't think you're building the ethos that you need to have the influence on the audience that you want to have. Good information, solid, that sort of thing, but people have to be willing to listen to you also, and if it sounds a little mechanical, that's going to be problematic. It wasn't bad, it was just, needs to be a little bit more engaging. All right, thank you.